Good morning. Welcome to the Bond Sunday morning services. Thank you so much for being a part of it. I absolutely appreciate it. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. You can get involved in this discussion by calling 800-411-2663, 800-411-BOND, or email us church@bondinfo.org, church@bondinfo.org, and put your name in town on your emails. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
How are you?
Right.
You guys look like you really have some good questions. You couldn't wait to get here today, and I can't wait to hear from you. Today my desire is for you to become perfect, to be made perfect. And God said that we should be perfect. We should be made perfect. And a lot of people have been taught that you can't be perfect. You know, and it's confusing to me because if God say that we can, then why are we saying that we can't? And if God is perfect and He is our Father, why are we not perfect? And so we want to talk about that. Also, we're going to talk about entering into that straight and narrow door. It's real narrow and straight, but it's real easy to enter in. And so we're going to get all you guys and ladies to enter in today so that you could be made perfect. Does that sound good?
Yes, great.
Yeah. So, who believes that you can't be perfect? Oh, nobody's going to admit it now that I said that you can't. You don't believe that you can be perfect. And why is that?
Because that's a lot of responsibility.
A lot of responsibility?
Yes.
To be perfect?
Yes.
What do you mean?
Well, I try, but I mean, like the fact that, I'm not a perfect person. And meaning that I will be making mistakes. Don't want to.
A little lot of them.
I don't want to make mistakes.
Right.
But I assume that as long my path, I'm sure I'll be making some mistakes, and I have to understand that.
And so, have you ever read in the Bible where God said, "Be ye perfect, as your Father in heaven is perfect"?
No.
Did you know that was in the Bible?
No.
Oh yeah. Do you read the Bible?
Sometimes.
But you never read that.
No, I never.
It is there. Be perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. And so, if He tell us to be that way, what does that say to you?
That I have to strive to be perfect.
By doing what?
Being kind and loving.
Kind and loving.
Yeah.
And you think that'll do it?
Part of it.
Oh, okay. So now that you heard that God say that you can be perfect, you do believe that it is possible. Now that you've heard that, right?
It could be possible. I'm sure.
But beforehand, you didn't know that He suggested that or tell us to be perfect.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It is in the Bible. He does tell us to be that, and we can be that way. But if you think that you can't, then you won't. And I think most Christians, well, not I think, I know most Christians believe that they can't be, and one day when they die and get to heaven, then they shall be. And they're in for a big surprise. Because I'm not sure if they're going to get in once they go up there and ring that white doorbell, gate bell. But we'll show you how. So if you can be, do you want to be?
Oh, yes, of course.
Everybody, are you striving to be perfect?
Am I striving to be perfect?
Do you know you can be perfect?
No, I know that you can be. I don't necessarily know that I think about that, striving to be perfect.
You don't think
I
about
strive to, overcome my anger and try to be, deal with people the right way. So in that sense, yeah, but I don't think of it as being, perfect. But I've read that in the Bible.
it? Yeah. And you believe it's possible?
Yeah.
But you're not striving for it?
If you consider those things, would you consider those things as striving for perfection?
I'm sorry?
Trying to overcome anger and trying to deal with people the right way.
Who's trying to overcome anger here? You're trying to overcome. Okay, good. And how are you trying to overcome it?
I by feeling my anger when, if I get into a situation with somebody not acting angry, I still get angry, but I don't let it come out. Like,
Right.
I just, like you said, I watch it.
You just watch it. Yeah. How about for you, John? Has it been a process for you too?
Well, I don't know if I want to call it a process. When I see that I'm angry, I really don't want to be angry.
Right.
I don't want, I see what's going on, you know, and I don't want to be angry, but at the same token, I can see that there's nothing I can do about it. You know,
Right.
that's it.
And so, but it's hard to just overcome it.
Well, you know, I mean, I hardly ever get angry anymore, hardly ever.
But what you do is hard to overcome it.
No, no. For instance, Robert and I had a conversation. I tried to explain something to him.
Your son.
Yes. And he didn't understand, so I explained it to him again. He didn't understand, I explained it to him again, I explained it to him again, and then I got impatient. And impatient is nothing different but anger. That's all it is. Impatience is anger, period.
It is hard for you to overcome it.
But you know what? He brought it to my attention, and I immediately saw that I was wrong, and I apologized right then and there.
Right.
I mean, I didn't want to be that way.
It is hard for you to overcome it. It is hard for you to overcome it.
Well, overcome. Like I said, I hardly ever get angry anymore.
But in those hardly ever moments,
Yeah, well,
it's
in
hard
that
for you to
moment-
overcome
In
it.
that moment, you know, I saw that I saw, he brought it to my attention, I immediately saw that I was wrong.
Right.
You know, and I apologized.
So is it hard to overcome anger?
No,
Then why have you overcome it?
I don't know. I do not know.
Well, what made you think that it's not hard?
Well, because it didn't take much for me right then and there. I saw it and I stopped.
But that's not overcoming anger.
No,
They're
I mean,
just
that's
dealing
what happened.
with, they're just dealing with the anger that's there. But God doesn't want you to have it at all because He wants you to be perfect.
Right, right,
And a perfect man or woman doesn't have anger.
correct.
And so why don't you overcome it? Why haven't you overcome it?
Okay, when you say, why haven't you overcome it? This is like implying that I need to do something, okay? I need to overcome. But I don't know, you know, like for instance, just revisiting the conversation that I had with him, I saw my impatience coming on,
And why haven't you overcome anger?
you see, right there, like in that moment, you know, that would have been the time to overcome it, as you say. But the only thing, really, the only thing I would have had available at that point, no, I was going to say is to suppress it, but that's not true. I realize it right now, that's not true. You see, something else could have taken place in that
Am I going to
moment.
get an answer to my question?
It looked that way.
Well, how to overcome it, I don't know,
Thank you.
okay? I mean, I said it before.
No, not
I
today.
did say it before.
You
I
said
don't
it
know.
today?
Huh?
Did you say that today?
Just a moment ago, yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
Yeah,
You guys heard me say I don't know? Oh, because I am getting older, so. I could have missed it. Wow. Yes.
You know, I want to add something. I know it's going to sound strange to you, but I'm glad in a way my dad got angry at me, because that it allows me to see in myself here is giving me a chance to be patient with him, to
Right.
work on it and stuff.
Yeah.
You know? But you know what's funny thing is, I know you're going to find it unbelievable, but
Not
honest
really.
to God, wait a minute. This is for myself, it's not for everybody. But I can tell you this, I don't feel any bit of resentment toward that experience.
All right.
It was like, oh my God, this is like amazing.
Yeah.
This is just trying to, what I see is I'm trying to not control the situation, but just tell it as it is.
Do you have anger?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're not perfect.
No, I'm not. I just had a little bit of a run-in after I took a shower and stuff, and got outside, and
I
there
don't
was a
want to
siren.
hear your shower service.
No, there was a siren. Somebody
Oh.
turned on the alarm and stuff, and a siren just blasted through and I tripped and fell and hurt myself, and
Wow.
I got so angry.
Today?
No, that was like early last week. I got so angry. I called up that person and started cussing out and stuff.
Wow.
So
No wonder you're happy about that moment with your dad. Yeah,
I
that
try to
way.
redeem myself.
Do you believe you can be perfect?
I want to believe, but really I come to realize I don't believe that.
That you can be perfect?
Right.
Yeah. I
Deep down
appreciate
inside of me, I just don't believe it. I
Yeah.
just
it. Do you believe you can be perfect?
Absolutely.
Huh?
Yes, I do.
You do believe it? Good. At least you know, are you perfect?
Of course.
You're perfect?
Yes.
And how did you become that way?
You just have to purify your heart and be like a child. Child heart.
And how does one do that? For these people who are not perfect, how does one do that?
Well, just don't have no worries.
You don't have no worries? Okay. How about you? Are you perfect?
No,
Do you believe you can be perfect?
no, I only believe Christ is perfect.
I'm sorry?
Christ is perfect.
So you don't believe that you can be that? Do you believe, are you a Christian?
Yes,
And so are you his brother, his sister?
yes.
He's your brother, right?
He's my father.
No, Christ. Is Christ your brother or your
No.
father?
Well, both, I guess.
Christ is your brother and your father?
Well, because God. And,
Well, he said that he's our brother once we are born again.
okay, then brother.
Right. And so if he's our brother, it means that you're perfect like him, right?
But he has God in him.
And you don't?
He's like the son of God.
And you're not the daughter of God?
Yeah, I guess so.
And so if you're the daughter of God, why aren't you perfect? Isn't this food for thought?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So if you're the daughter of God, Christ is the son of God, you said, right?
Right.
So he's perfect.
Right.
Because he has God in him, right?
Right.
You're the daughter of the God, Christ's brother, but do you have God in you?
Yes.
So why aren't you perfect?
I haven't gotten there yet.
What, gotten where?
To perfection.
So then how did you become the sister?
By his grace.
So you're like an imperfect sister?
Yeah, I'm human, and God's not human.
But Christ was human too. He was perfect.
He was
was
half human, half God.
Oh. So you are, you're God's daughter, Christ's sister, but you're not perfect.
Correct.
But God say that you should, he told you to be perfect.
Strive for perfection.
No, he doesn't say strive. He said be it.
Oh.
It doesn't say strive.
Oh.
It said be it. As your Father in heaven is perfect. Have you ever read that in the Bible?
Yes.
Yeah. And so when you read, be ye perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect, you thought, are you like crazy? I can't do that. I'm human. Is that what went through your mind?
Yeah.
So you think God made a mistake?
No.
Well, why would he ask you to do something that you can't do?
Well, maybe I can. I don't know it.
That's right. Good answer. Because a lot of people are throwing it out. No, you can't be that. And a lot of preachers are telling the people, no, you can't be that because you're human. And they say that the flesh is willing,
Flesh
The
is weak.
spirit is willing, but the
the
flesh.
flesh is weak and the spirit is
Willing.
And so they use that to keep you in an imperfect state of being. Why would you want to have a God that can't make you perfect? The devil is one guy to hold you in an imperfect camp, right? Why would you want to go to another God that cannot make you perfect? Isn't that food for thought?
It is.
And people haven't thought about this yet. They don't think about these things. And it blows my mind that they don't think about these things. And these are the things that God wants us to think about. He doesn't want us to worry about what we're going to eat, what we're going to wear, who we're going to date, all that. He wants us to think on these things. And then those other things will work themselves out. But people are not thinking. It's amazing to me. They read it in the Bible, but they'll throw that aside.
It's just so hard though for me personally because I have a son and like you two this week. And I from the last sermon I got about anger.
Yeah.
And this whole week, that's what I've been trying to do is just keep, just realize and be truthful to myself.
Yes.
Why do I snap?
Yeah.
And, a lot of it has to do, as a child, my father was, very angry. We were immigrants here and he
Right.
had my parents were never home. They had jobs and going to night school to become something. And so he was always angry and upset about it. So I think it was given to me, that same anger,
Yeah.
and what I've learned through your sermon last week.
Yeah.
And now I've got a son, and I'm just thinking he's going to be 21, and I'm thinking I've got to
He's
stop.
20 now?
He's going to be 21 in July.
Oh, okay.
So, he's at school, and, he's using a credit card, and I saw he overdrawn 3 times, and it was $35 3 times, and I called him up. I was just ripped into him. And then I told myself, do not do that.
Yeah.
Start trusting myself.
And did you apologize?
Yes, I called him up. And he was really surprised by that.
He was?
Yeah, I said, I'll be going to Reverend Peterson, so I'm getting myself together.
He was
Sorry.
surprised you apologized?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Because I told him that I was going,
Yeah.
to church here, and he was just blown by that.
Your father's still living?
No, my father passed away.
So it's hard to forgive him?
It is.
Okay. Did you
But
do
no, I love him. I mean, it broke my heart when he passed away.
Right.
So, I understand what happened to all of us. We were under these circumstances, back in that day in the 60s.
It was hard.
It was hard. And, my dad, I found out, was taking amphetamines to stay up at night because he
Right.
worked in all night shifts.
Yes.
And went to school during the day to learn English. And so that made him crazy and angry. And, there's a lot of whipping. He hit my mother. A lot of stuff like that happened in my house. A lot of violence.
Your mother still living?
Yes.
And did you overcome your resentment toward her?
No, I still have resentment because I think she brings it on
She does.
because of her upbringing.
Yes, ma'am.
So I
She
understand
does.
all this, and I try to forgive all this, but I've
Oh,
got to work on that.
And have you tried to forgive your mother?
I'm working on that.
Because what people don't realize, most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, 99.999.999, but not all the time. Just 99.99. It's the mother who brings the hell into the family.
Oh, I believe that.
Yeah. And the father is overreacting to that hell because he doesn't know how to deal with it. So he's overreacting. Sometimes he become a drunk or a drug addict, or he become violent. But he's really overreacting to the hell that is in his wife, and he doesn't know how to handle it. And so the kids see the father overreacting, and they say that, oh, he is mean. The
Right.
father's mean, and then the mother is crying. Oh,
Victim.
I'm so innocent.
But I saw
This
she
old
brought it
man
on.
just beated me, and I can't believe he beated me. And the kids sympathize with mama, and then they go to hell too.
No, they do. I agree with everything you're saying. But I've seen it, and now I get it.
Oh, good.
I do get that.
Yes.
And
I was thinking, and I may have talked to either on the radio show about it or to Patrick about it this week.
you
It
on
might-
the radio show,
Oh, you heard me say it on the radio?
you had the whole thing with the gentleman that wrote a book about the mother.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the women, what we do to the men.
Yeah.
Now, and that struck me amazingly too, because like I said, I have a son, and I have to be responsible now.
Yeah, you're going to turn your son into a woman if you don't stop it.
That's right.
He's going to be a little wimp. He's going to start dating, and the woman's going to take advantage of
I
him.
know.
He's going to marry his mama
Oh, God, no.
because you become attracted. You become attracted to what you hate.
I know.
Yeah. Now, do you want to overcome that?
Yes,
Okay.
I do, definitely.
It's so easy. It's the easiest thing that you're going to ever have to do in life. Really. It's the easiest thing to overcome. Isn't that right, everybody? Now that you realize that it wasn't your father that was so mean, but it was your mother that was making him that way because he ended up marrying his mother.
He did.
Yeah, because guys become attracted to what they hate. They hate mama, and then they end up trying to get away from mama, but they end up marrying mama or living with mama because you become attracted to that spirit. And then the cycle continues because now you're married to mama, you can't handle mama, and mama gonna hate you because you're weak. She's gonna destroy your children by causing them to become angry. And so it just go on and on and on. And so I was telling on the radio show, I was saying it's interesting how women, not all,
People will be typing some letters now.
yeah, just 99.999.9% of them, this hell dwells in them, and they're causing all this confusion. They're bringing the hell into the family. But they cry and act like the victim, and the law protects them, and everybody say, oh, poor woman. And they are protecting evil and don't realize what they're doing. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
And they go after the man, and the poor guy, the hell is not coming out of him. It's coming out of his wife or his mother and on and on. And she's just messing up everything, killing society. And an angry mother will kill you, the grass, her husband, the cat, the dog. She'll make the paint drop off the house. That anger just dries up everything because the angry mother sucked the life out of you. And she lives off that and won't set you free. And then she'll blame it on the man, and everybody go, and they blame the man because the man is acting out. He's acting out what he's an alcoholic, he's angry because he can't deal with his wife. So it looked like it's him, but it's really his wife or his mother. Isn't that something?
It's true.
It's absolute truth, and we need to say it so that people can start realizing it and overcoming it.
Right. I try to show, like, with my husband, try not to be exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
I really am working on that. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to be a supportive, not victim
Yes.
wife. I feel like that's why our marriage works so well, because he knows he can't shove me around, or I'm never going to fall victim of crying and, manipulating him.
Right.
And that's a terrible thing to do to your husband.
There's nothing more beautiful than a president, husband, vice president, wife. It works.
It does.
But this angry woman is trying to be the president. So this battle is a power struggle, and no real man gonna let you put him underneath you. He's not gonna be your vice president. But I mean, unless he's wimped out, and just can't help it,
There's no way it's going to do
But
that.
most men are not gonna. So you have this battle going on,
Right.
and most men are not gonna give into it. But I want to tell you how to get over that, especially now that you recognize that it really wasn't your father, but it was your mother driving him to hell in a handbasket. That's why men die first.
They do.
Women kill them. Did you guys know that? It's
Get
true.
some large life insurance, women.
Yeah, women kill men first, and then they live off the insurance policy, and they kill boyfriends the rest of their lives. And the thing about women, they'll destroy you. They'll make you weak. They'll make you angry. They'll cause you to become subject to them. Mothers will. And then when they weaken you out, now they want to nurse you back to life. They'll take care of you. And still causing you to be subject to them. They won't even let you suffer so you can get over it. They'll take care of you. They'll give you money. They'll tell you, come live with me. It's like you're stuck with this devil that you can't get rid of. Because they'll take you back. They'll nurse you back to life.
That's my learning point right now. It's like I got to stop nourishing him. I got to just
Yes.
let go and be a man. And it's so hard. I'm a Latina, and
Oh
we're
my
taught that.
God, that's almost worse than being black.
Yeah, it is. I think it could be worse than being black, for sure. We are
Those
like,
Latin
Mom,
women,
we
oh.
love having babies. We love just, we get our what I see through my mother and through me is that we get our self-esteem through like just being,
Just killing everybody.
I know, we do, we're so bad. We're so
Yeah.
bad.
No, it's
I'm
bad.
learning, I'm learning.
And then the white woman, the way she does hers,
They just
she
cut 'em
manipulate with education. You know, she passed laws that confine you. She go after that man by passing those laws that go against men. You know, they do it with their intellect because they're real educated. So they use education to confine their men. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
And then they'll look you right in the eyes. So what's wrong?
Use your words.
Yeah. But it's all spiritual. It's a spiritual thing. It really is. And if you could see that it's spiritual, then you win. But if you don't understand it's a spiritual battle between good and evil is working through mama, you're never going to be free. And that's just the truth.
And is it too late? He's 21.
No, it's never too late. It's only too late if you die that way.
Oh,
If you drop your body like that, then it's over.
for him.
Yeah. And so for anybody that don't overcome that before they die, this is the beauty of being alive now. It's never, as long as you're alive. I wouldn't wait for tomorrow though, because tomorrow is not promised to us. I would overcome it in this moment, because that's all you really have is this moment. There is no tomorrow and no yesterday. It's only in the mind of angry people that they have a tomorrow, but it really doesn't exist. And when you're free, you see that. Sherry, is that true that once mama destroy you, now she want to take care of you?
Yeah, it's true.
It is. It's the darndest thing I ever seen. The devil kill you, now the devil want to nurse you back to life. And you're still, and then mama, and you're still subject to the devil, right? Mama can control you from the grave.
Yeah.
Did you know that? Because you become like her, she live in you, and she control you. It's a spiritual thing. And what, I'm gonna say this, and I know it's gonna be interesting when I say it, but I wanna say it because I want people to know this. And you don't have to like me. I don't need to be liked anymore. I wanna like you, you don't have to like me back. Because I notice that when I tell people the truth, they stop liking me. I have a good friend of mine that I finally told him the truth. And I've been thinking about it ever since I really have told him the truth. It's difficult for him to deal with it. And all these years, I never really told him the truth about himself. And so I thought about, wow, I wonder why I never did tell that person the truth. And I realized that I've always known that my friend cannot handle the truth about himself. It was something about his personality that said to me that if you tell this one the truth, they'll break down. Have you ever seen friends like that? You can kind of know that they can't handle the truth, so you won't tell. And I realized I've been wrong for that. And I'm glad now that I'm telling my friend the
A
truth.
bit of a manipulation, kind of, you know.
Yeah, it's like, don't hurt me, I'm too soft and don't make me feel pain. They wear it on their sleeve, you can tell. But I'm glad I did. I want to say this. And I want to say it because it's true. And I want to say it because it's a truth that's going to make us free. All right? What people don't realize, not all, but most, 99.99. I'll leave out the other percentage. How much is left, Pat, when I say 99 and don't say 0.9?
Just point something.
Point something.
Now, women who love their fathers and they have a good relationship with their fathers don't fit in this category. All right? But the rest of them do. What the world don't realize is that Satan is the woman's God. And then God is man's God. And then, so that hell that's in her is coming up through her into the family. Because love comes from above, hell comes from below. And it's the Adam and Eve syndrome that's being repeated over and over and over and over again. And so women don't know, a lot of them don't know that Satan is their God. And that's why they're acting out. They hate the man because when you hate your father, you hate God. You can't love God when you hate your father. And so you love the evil one. And he is your father. And that's why they try to get men and children to obey them. They want, because they're so insecure with that hatred, they try to make the world rotate around them. Everything has to rotate around them. And if you don't rotate around them, they will kill you. They will take your soul because they make you rotate around it. They drive you to become an alcoholic, a drug addict, a liar, a thief. They awaken you. Whatever it takes to make you rotate around them. Because they're so insecure, they got to have somebody or something that look like love them so they can try to feel better. They don't know they need to overcome that evil because people are afraid to tell them that. And it's unfortunate because things are getting worse by women not understanding that they're of their father, the devil. All in the name of Jesus. And they'll quote Jesus until the cows come home. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And then cuss you out, angry at the children, lying, mad at the husband. How can you know Jesus and do that? You can't know him and do that. You got to admit you're of your father, the devil. And we got to say it because we're losing our families, we're losing our country, we're losing everything because this spiritual battle is not understood, is not realized. And these old cowardly preachers are not going to tell you. Their wives are becoming preachers and their mama are becoming preachers. The worst thing you have is a preacher mama. You ever had anybody ever had a preacher mama? If you got a preacher mama, leave home. Run for your life. You're in trouble. I'm reminded of a good friend of mine in Alabama who mama was a preacher. And this preacher mama destroyed everything that got in her pathway. And so his mother, even though her mother's dead, she was so into mama. Mama can do no wrong. Mama is a preacher. Lord, no mama. And I went down there and I told her that her mother was evil, just as you are evil. And all hell broke loose. She wanted to kill me. I'm telling the truth, I'm not exaggerating. She literally wanted to kill me. Now, prior to that, nobody would tell this woman the truth. They knew she had messed up all the kids, turned them into drug addicts and whatever, alcoholics, in jail, all that kind of stuff. But they wouldn't tell her the truth. And I go and tell her the truth, and now she wanted to kill me. But the good thing about it, it woke up some of her kids. So they started saying, wow, I thought Mama was sent by God. I didn't realize Mama was sent by Satan. Ain't just some good stuff. It's so quiet in this room. But you don't know some of the stuff I have to deal with that people are going through. They are suffering, and especially Christian people. They are suffering all in the name of Jesus, and we should not be suffering if we believe in God. You're not supposed to be suffering like that. You're not supposed to be angry and hating your fellow man. You're not supposed to be controlling your children. You're not supposed to be doing all this stuff. You're supposed to love one another. And love is not controlling. Love is not spoiling your children. Love is not destroying your husband. All right, I see a whole bunch of hands. I'm on fire, huh?
Yes.
No? Or do you disagree with me? And what's part? I'm glad. I want disagreements.
We are not evil.
I'm sorry?
We're God's creation.
Who?
Women.
And
We are not evil, we're God's creation. If we're evil, men are evil. We're both created by the same maker.
what does that?
God created man, and then he created woman to come along the side of a man. Now, if life experiences will cause you to get bitter. Hurts will cause you to be hurt. And then you will have a reaction to certain things. If a woman father has been absent in her life, and she's hurting because of that, and because of the pain that she has on the inside, the bitterness that she has on the inside, is causing her not to be submissive to a man. doesn't necessarily mean that she's evil.
Is it
means
good?
that she have need of an emotional healing on the inside of her until she, or counseling or some kind of strength where she can get the right teaching. Women are not evil.
Women are not evil.
I don't consider as a man being evil. We have women. We as human beings have faults, and we say things wrong. And it said, be careful about what you say. You know, and don't you can look at a person and make a judgment and say, well, that person is evil because of their attitude, their anger. But what is causing that person to be like that? What is the man doing that might be causing the woman to react in that way? Or what is the woman doing that might be causing the man to act in
bobbing
that
her
way?
head. You
It
agree
works
with
both
that?
ways. So it's therefore,
true.
it sounds like you still have some issues on the inside of you concerning women that you have need to get it together. Because you're viewing it from your perspective, from what you have been through. Now, it says Christ suffers, and we suffer because Christ suffered. Now, if you're going to teach the truth.
Okay. Let me go back to something you said. Are you a Christian?
Yeah, are you?
You're a Christian.
Are
This
you
is
a
your
Christian?
first time here?
Are you a Christian?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
So you are a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
And do you have anger?
Of course I do.
Of course you do. And is anger...
But that doesn't make me angry. The Word of God says, be angry and sin not.
Hold on a minute. Is anger good or evil?
You can have constructive anger, and you can have anger that's not constructive. You can be angry for the right reasons.
Just answer
and
this for
you
me.
can be angry because then you might handle your anger wrongly, but that doesn't make you evil.
Is it possible to be a child of God? You say you're a Christian, right?
Mm-hmm.
And have anger?
Yes, it is.
Is anger the nature of God?
Yes, it is.
It is.
It said, read the word. It says he was angry. He was angry. In the word of God, it tells you be angry. It teaches us to be angry and sin not. It said Jesus got angry when he went into the temple and he turned the things over.
Right.
Because the way they did in the Father's house.
So your Bible teaches you to be angry.
No,
You
that's
just said
not
that.
what I said. You said it's anger
Right.
in the Bible. And I told
No,
you,
I asked you.
my Bible teaches me how to handle anger.
Right.
Be angry, but sin not.
So you think that God, as his daughter, will want you to be angry?
That's not what I said.
I'm asking you. That's a
No,
question.
that's not what I think. I think that he
Would
knows
God
that
want
we
you to
get
be angry?
He knows that we get angry.
Right.
But when we get angry, what are we going to do with the anger? Are we going to respond, or are we going to do it in a way to where it will cause more harm?
Has
You
your
have to be
anger
wise
caused
in
harm?
how you deal with your anger.
Has your anger caused harm or good?
Both ways.
You've done both.
Growing up as a child, you can be immature in the way that you deal with your anger until you learn how to respond and not react. You're human. God knows us. He created us.
Hold on a minute.
He teaches us. He
I know. Hold on.
counsels us.
Hold on.
He doesn't tell
Hold
tell
on.
me as
Hold
a
on.
woman I am evil.
Okay.
That's not what he said.
Hold on.
He says I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And marvelous is his works.
Right.
That's what he tells me.
Okay, I got
so
your point.
I believe what God say and not what man say.
Hey.
Because man would mess you up every time.
Hey, hold your horses.
I don't have any horses.
So you said that. Oh, if you'd like to get involved, you can call 800-411-BOND right now, 800-411-BOND, or email me church@bondinfo.org. You said your anger has caused good and evil.
Yes, being
Yeah.
immature as a young person, it has caused hurt on other people.
But with
going
love,
going back and rectifying, recognize, hey, well, my words that wasn't.
Let me do this.
wasn't
Let me do
good
this
to
because-
say.
hold on.
My words wasn't good to say. Going back and recognize, hey, it did more damage than it did good. Apologizing and amending that relationship. Okay, then you can have anger to where it can be constructive. You're angry because of
let me
what-
just say this to you because you're talking a lot.
Say it again.
You're deceived.
Okay.
If you have
All
anger,
right, I'm done with this. Come on, girls, let's go.
but wait,
No,
I may be
I'm not
wrong.
gonna let you teach my girls the wrong thing, that they're evil. They're created by the man, they're created by the Heavenly Father. And I'm not gonna let my girls sit up under this.
But
Be taught, because they get angry, that they are evil.
But why
Of course-
would you want them? And it's not them, but it's that spirit inside of them.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm wise enough to know that,
There go
you have
love.
to be more teaching.
That's love.
My children are not, we women are not.
Hang on a minute, we'll find out. That's what I'm talking about. That's the Christian. But,
She just proved your point.
huh?
She just proved your point.
I know.
Like clearly.
All in the name of Jesus.
Well, she don't really know, so let's face it, we all have missed the point. She don't understand. I didn't understand when I came here, so to me, we have to be patient with these people.
We do.
Yes.
That's right. But still speak the truth, but be patient.
Yeah,
Because maybe she'll think about it now.
right, right.
You know, you never know. You put the truth out there, and God will do the rest. And that's why I say to white people, tell black people the truth, and then run. You don't have to,
Oh, that's necessary. Was that necessary?
you don't have to hang out because
White people is not the old one better.
once you tell them the truth works on your behalf. And I'm telling you, that spirit of anger that's made a home in you is evil. It doesn't do any good at all. You disagree too?
I do disagree.
And why?
Men are not evil. Actually, sometimes men makes women get hurt and transform themselves to something else.
Right. But you don't believe that that spirit of anger is evil.
Well, sometimes God said that you could be angry with the evildoers. You just hate evildoers.
No, he doesn't want you to hate.
You dislike the behavior of evildoers.
I know, but
right?
what people don't understand is that what women and men don't understand, that spirit of anger that's made a home in them is evil. Nothing good comes from that.
I really don't agree about being evil as an angry person. Sometimes it's just that when if you see somebody keep doing the evil things, you get angry and
But you
you
shouldn't,
become
though.
frustrated.
But see, if that anger, if that spirit wasn't inside of you, if it wasn't there, then other people's actions couldn't bring that out.
I think God gets angry with evil.
I'm so sorry they put that thing in the book where Christ
Yes,
threw it out in
yes,
the chambers.
he
God,
does.
it's confusing people. He didn't have that kind of anger that you have. He saw a wrongdoing thing and he dealt with it. But he didn't feel emotional about it.
And that's the reason why they were cast out from heaven, right? I mean, that's why I said that being angry is not, makes you actually an evil person.
Well, let me just say this to you. And you can hold on to it. And I guarantee you, you're never going to have peace. You're never going to have, you're going to always be controlled by your outer environment, the world around you, going to build you up, tear you down. People are going to make you feel things that you don't want to feel. And if you have children, you're going to destroy them. Because there is no love. He said, perfect love casts all that stuff out.
Exactly.
And so,
I do agree in perfect love, but you cannot continue to allow evildoers to do their thing.
I'm sorry?
You cannot allow evildoers to do their thing.
You cannot allow evil to work to do bad things?
The evildoers, you are angry with
Oh,
evildoers.
right, but you shouldn't be though, because when you have perfect love, you have the power to overcome evil. And so evildoers can't get away with what they're doing. But when you have the same spirit they have, then there's nothing to put out the fire.
That's why you are actually divided. There's righteous and there are just...
But an angry person is not a righteous person.
That's why I actually differentiate the evil and angry myself. That doesn't make you an evil person when you get angry at something that you don't like to see. You said that you want your children to actually abide by the godly thing, right? So if they are doing ungodly things, you dislike them.
But you
Not be-
shouldn't.
Well, because they continue to be disobedient.
But you
to laws.
shouldn't dislike them for that. You should have compassion for them, be a living example so that they can see how to overcome it. Because if you just like them for that, they're not going to overcome it. They're going to dislike you back and get worse, become worse. Because you don't have any love. Angry people don't have love.
Well, I do have all the love in this world. But I do get angry with evildoers.
Then you have no love.
That's not true.
You have emotional love, but you don't have God love, godly love. That love that is unemotional, that love that has power in it. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Maybe I can give an example of the woman being evil. It might help, maybe a little.
And let me just say, it's not her, but it's that spirit
Well,
that's
yes,
in her.
It's
Working
the same
through
thing,
her.
like, I agree, and I know the difference, but it's not even something that, I think people think of evil as that it's an intent to harm kind of thing, that you're doing it consciously, and I think that's the spirit of it, that you do it, you don't even know you're doing
You
it.
don't realize it.
Like, for example, when I was a kid, my mom taught me to hate my father.
Yes.
I didn't know it was the backhanded comments. It was complaining about the things he wasn't doing and how we should be upset because he didn't show up on time or he didn't show up to this, that, and the other,
Yeah.
and how she wished he would do this and the other. It wasn't her intentionally trying to put resentment in us towards him,
Yeah.
but it's exactly what she did. And I don't think she knew she was even
That's
doing
right.
it, but she did it. And so in order for me to overcome my anger, to deal with my parents, I had to figure out to forgive her first before I could even figure out what it is I was angry with my dad about
That's right.
on my own level.
That's right.
And then I could deal with him.
Yeah.
But before that, I only knew what she had told me I needed to be angry about.
Yeah.
And until you free yourself from her and that anger that you have, you
Amen.
cannot
Amen.
forgive your dad, and you can't be free of anything.
Yeah.
And it's subtle,
Amen.
and you don't notice it until you have to become aware that, wait, all those little comments and things, and that's how it builds up, and then you don't know what you hate or you don't hate.
That's right.
And so it's
Amen.
not like she's wakes up in the morning trying to create hell in you, but she has it in her, and she's going to deal with it, and it comes out through her.
This is why God said you must be born again. But if you can't realize or if you don't admit you have it, you're never going to be born again. And what people have done is they make up excuses for it. They have accepted it as being right or good. And that's keeping them in this hellhole, destroying every generation that comes along. You got to shine some light on it so you can go free from it. Do you understand and agree with what she's saying?
Yeah, I think maybe perhaps, I know, to explain it with the evil spirit, maybe in the woman, instead of saying the woman's evil,
Right, okay.
maybe she wouldn't
Yeah,
react
it's the
so
spirit
much.
in that woman.
Well, so you didn't tell her that. You
I didn't tell her.
explain.
She took off.
Well, you talked a long
She wouldn't even listen.
You talked a long time, but anyway.
But it's the spirit.
But I got that. You said the spirit, when I started explaining to you about my family,
Yeah.
you said my mother's spirit was mean-spirited and led my father to.
I said earlier, our battle is a battle between good versus evil. It's a spiritual battle. And women they have not been told the truth about this thing. And a lot of them are suffering because they don't realize that that's what's going on. And those who do realize it, they don't know how to overcome it. Because the preacher's not going to tell them. And that's what I want to get to in a minute because we're running out of time. Yes, ma'am.
So, then what would you tell someone whose father isn't in the picture? Like, the mother is a single mother and raising, the daughter, and so the mom's angry because the father didn't take responsibility for the daughter, they didn't get married, he didn't pay child support, whatever.
Yeah.
So, the daughter's gonna look at the father as, the one that.
3 minutes to commercial.
left.
3 minutes to commercial.
Right. Most, exceptions to the rule sometimes, but most kids are not angry at dad. They long for their fathers. And so I would tell a woman who have children out of wedlock or the father's not there for whatever reason, that her anger is not at that man, where she resents him for being weak. But she was already like that before he married her or got involved with her.
Right.
Because had not she had that anger, she would not have had sex out of wedlock. She would carry herself in a manner that men would respect her. She would wait until marriage. But because she has that anger that 99% of the time was already there, that was passed on to her mother, and then her father wasn't there to fulfill that emptiness, she's out there looking for love, And she ended up getting a baby without getting a man. So what she needs to do is go back and deal with mama. She needs to go back and forgive her mother. Be honest with her mother, and then stop hating her mother so that God can forgive her, and then she will be fulfilled, and then she can move on with life. But as long as she's blaming that man for it, who had nothing to do with it,
Right.
he was already wiped out anyway. That's why he ended up with her.
Right, right.
She needs to go back to where that anger started, where she got it from. And she got it from mama first. And mama, don't ask mama to forgive you, because most of them will not forgive you. They like to control. You forgive her because she couldn't help herself. Just as, you know how you say you yelled at your son? You don't want to yell at your son, but you can't help yourself. This thing rose up and made you do it. And so your mother could not help herself as well. She has that same spirit that controls her, and these little things breathes it out of her. But she wants to be loving, she wants to do the right thing, but she doesn't understand that she's driven by something else.
It's easy to change it, and I'm finding it hard to try to change it. It was hard. I couldn't even contain myself, and I knew I was doing something bad because I would listen to your radio show earlier.
Yes.
And I knew as it was all coming out of my mouth, and then I hung up, and then I gave myself time, called him back, but I thought, why did I do that, even knowing it? And it's not easy.
Now, you can't help it because it's a spirit that drives you. You're not in control. It's not you. And don't hate yourself for it. But now that you understand that your mother couldn't help herself, and you know why you resent her, you need to go and talk to her. And say, Mom, I resented you because you did this, you were impatient, you drove my dad nuts, and you made us identify with you and all that. And then when you can tell her this, don't plan what you're going to say. Wait until you get there, because God will give you the words to say. And then, but when you tell her how you really feel, and you realize that just like you couldn't help yourself with your son, she could not help herself, that would cause you to forgive her. And you'll walk away, and God would take that thing away from you, and your whole world would change. He would give you perfect love, and then you'll deal with your son with perfect love. But you got to go back to where it started from, where you got it from. And don't ask her to forgive you, because being a Mexican mom, she ain't gonna forgive you.
Mexican, Costa Rican.
Costa Rica.
Oh, we all look the
same thing. When you black, you black. You know? When you white, you white. But I'm telling you, and I'm glad you're at this point where you are, because you're right at the door to enter that straight and narrow. You're really right there. And so if you forgive her, God will forgive you, and then apologize to your son. Let him know, I couldn't help myself. I was wrong. And then I'm telling you, he'll take that spirit away from you, and you will enter into the kingdom of heaven, and life is easy from that point forward. Because you will have a different nature, a different spirit. You will now have God's spirit, which is perfect love without anger. There's no anger in his love. You speak up, you're still going to be able to speak up, you're going to be able to deal with life, but you're not motivated from that. It can't control you. But you gotta go back and forgive your mother. She drove your dad's nut. He didn't know how. He married his mama. Yeah, so that's what happened.
And he cheated on her all the time.
Yeah.
So
That's what they do, because men, because of their hatred of women, they are sexually attracted to them. And so if they can't get it from mama at home, their wife, they're going to go somewhere else to get it, because they need something to make themselves feel better. It's like a drug. It's a cover-up. Sex is a cover-up for men. It's not love. That's why women should not service them. They shouldn't do it until after marriage, because men are having it because they're addicted to hating women, and now they're subject to them, and they're trying to keep themselves feeling good so they can forget that they hate women because they hate their mothers. Isn't that something? That's an amazing thing to me. And
You know,
yes, ma'am.
I'm talking about my ex-husband, because I always felt that he hated his mother because he was a woman chaser.
Yeah.
But he covered up because he was very polite, obedient to his mother.
Yeah.
All that stuff, and all that was phony.
That's right.
His mother, and I.
99.99.999.9 of men of all races
Yeah.
hate their mothers. They hate their mothers.
I don't have a son, so it's awful to hear that, but it's.
But that kind of impatience that you give to him is what causes him to hate you.
It's my doing.
Yes.
And,
Yes, ma'am.
excuse me 1 minute, before my son passed, and he would always say, I hate my dad, I hate my daddy. And one day we was riding in the car, and he was looking at me so ugly. And I said, you hate me too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Most kids don't hate their father, they hate their mothers.
Yeah.
But it's the mothers that convinces them or make them identify with her and say, it's your father. Because she's not going to set them free. Her ego will, you did that? Yeah. Her ego will not set her children free. Isn't that something? Anyway, go to my website. You can get over this. Next week,
1 minute.
you know, I didn't even read this to you, and I really wanted to read the Straight and Narrow Path. What I encourage you to do, you need to, God said, when you pray, be still and know the truth. You got to learn to sit still and allow this truth to catch up with you. And when it catches up with you, it will set you free. So get a copy of my Be Still and Know CD. We're not going to charge you for the CD, just shipping and handling. You can have the prayer. It's yours. But you got to calm down
30
so
seconds.
reality can catch up with you. And next week, I want to talk about how to die at the cross. Because from what I heard this morning, most people don't know how to die at the cross. And that's why you're not free. Christ died at the cross. I had to die at the cross, and you could do it too, but you don't know what it is. So next week, we're talking about dying at the cross.
10.
Get a copy of my prayer CD,
8.
all right? And we also need your support. We need to keep this going. Thank you so much for tuning in, and you can call in for counseling
2,
as well.
1.
Thank you guys as well. Appreciate it.
For more information or to purchase a copy of this show, visit us on the web at www.bondinfo.org or call 1-800-411-BOND.